What's going on, friends? Michael McFarland here, the Lake Fork Guide. I'm going to give you a rundown for May 24th. I believe today's May 24th, Monday anyways. Things are looking a little better. As you all know, if you've been following or you live in Northeast Texas, man, we just have had our share of weather. An infinite plethora from cold to floods to winds, and we're still not quite out of it, but we're getting much closer. Literally, water temperatures, for example, today was 70 to 73 degrees. I looked back 1 year, date to date, and we're more like 76 or 78. So we're still a little behind. Clarity, 1 to 2 foot. After all that rain, you would think the lake's a mess. It's not. Impressively, it's not. It went so high over pool that it was up into the junk. A lot of times the gates being open will pull that mud line down. It didn't. So we've got a 1 to 2 foot visibility, and my favorite color, Lake Fork green. I'm seeing some Lake Fork green out there. Offshore bite's almost ready to go. It should have already been going, and there are some fish being caught offshore. But lake level 403.24 from Saturday or Sunday 403.27. So gates are back closed now. We probably only got 1 gate open instead of 5. As you see this progress this week, unless we have a bunch more rain, I really believe that this will stabilize, and this will be the week that we begin to see the offshore bite really finally kick off. Now I can confirm that this morning we had a trip. I found, as I showed you here, 73 was the warm water today. I had a few top water opportunities, and then we went offshore. We didn't crush them, but we did catch a few. And we did catch them on the Santone football shaky head. This is a 5/16 ounce. A lot of guys don't believe me that odd ounce numbered, but it is a 5/16 Santone football piglet. Okay, it's a stand-up shaky head. I generally throw a lot of different things on it. Right now, I'm basically throwing a Zoom Magnum trick worm. 2 colors. If the sun was shining, there'd be a third. So the first color, June bug. June bug. The second color, watermelon candy. And dip the tail chartreuse. You know why? You know why that tail chartreuse is so important? Because we get, oh, my battery's dead. We get UV reflection from it. That's why. Let's see if this one comes with a battery. It doesn't. I'm going to go get one out of my boat just to show you why dipping the tail chartreuse is so critical. Remember when we talk about the UV light, how we get a reflective from anything that's UV, anything has UV in it. And that is exactly what that does on the tail. I'm really hoping you can see that. And you see that chartreuse tail. Now you see it. Now you don't. Now you see it. Now you don't. Okay? I hope that really transfers on camera because it's amazing in person. A little chartreuse tip goes a long ways when you're fishing in the deeper, darker water. But a 5/16 Santone football stand-up shaky head, Magnum trick worm, watermelon candy, dip the tail chartreuse. If that sun comes out, notice how I say if. In the last 180 days, since November basically, we have not seen the sun 30 days accumulative from light to dark. We've had some sun patches, half a day, couple hours, but wake up to the sun, have the sun be all day till dark, less than 30 of the last 180. It's unbelievable. So it's coming. I do believe the sun will be coming soon. When it does, these fish are really truly going to go off this year. It's going to force them out of the shallow waters. Right now, they're basically finishing up the spawn. I had a friend of mine who caught an 8-pounder today in 25 feet of water, still pre-spawn, still full of eggs. I really don't believe those fish will spawn. I think those are females that are staying out deep. They've abandoned the spawn this year, and it's already too hot, too warm For that fish to be in 25 feet of water in May, full of eggs still, something ain't right. So, Sandtone football jig, Sandtone finesse shaky head. That's the way I'm going to be fishing the next probably 6 to 8 weeks. I'm excited about it. And again, we did connect with some pretty good fish today. So I can positively assure you that the deeper shell bed, not the clams, that's your shallow shell bed, that's your red clay. Your red clay areas hold the small. It's the deep stuff. It's the real deal. These do make beds like oysters. They do get shell on shell on shell. And you do need to find the heart of that to find the sweet spot for the big bite, especially the hotter it gets and we get more into summer. So if you're looking to do that, I am your guy to show you, all right? I'm the guy to show you how to find it. I'm the guy to show you how to fish it, and I'm the guy to show you how to set up on it. I learned a lot of it, the basics, from Mr. Mark Pag. Thank you, my friend. I've excelled and basically made a massive milk run from one end of the lake to the other, showing multiple shell beds depending on wind directions for what we call a milk run. It's time for my milk run. Let's go fishing. I'm Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide, giving you another Lake Fork rundown. I want to run a couple things quick by you here. Coming very soon, I'm most likely going to add a subscription private corner to this YouTube page. I would like some feedback of you, if those of you that would potentially subscribe. It will be $4.99 a month. It's going to include quite a few things that my rundown and the corner does not. So in other words, it's going to be a private corner, and I'm going to go into a lot more detail and depth. Like, for example, I just told you the colors that we're throwing them on, but I didn't tell you the depths we're fishing it at. Sometimes I'll tell you the rod and line and reels that I'm using, but I don't tell you the pace that we fish it at. Are we hopping it, dragging it, swimming it? What are we doing? So in the private part of the corner, the subscription part, there first of all will be a lot more in-depth detail. Number two, there will be discounts on discount codes offered for sponsored products. There will be a 10% discount code on any guide trip that you book with me. There'll also be a lot of other perks and things that are going to come. But I just wanted some feedback. So what your thoughts of that were. I'm still going to give you the rundown. You won't have to. I'm still going to get this board, the rundown. You won't have to subscribe for that. Realistically, not a whole lot is going to change in what I've been giving you and offering you through the YouTube channel as of today. The rundown might be a little leaner, forcing you to go subscribe, but the subscription is going to be worth it. I'm also going to use a number system. I'm going to be doing a private daily rundown. Every day at the end of my day when I fish, I will do a 1 or 2 minute quick rundown, and it's going to have a number system. All right, I'm not going to give up waypoints. I'm not selling an app. But what I'm going to do is I have a number system that I learned a long time ago. You break a body of water into 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. The upper arm, the middle basin, and the basin. Okay? North, mid, south. 1, 2, 3. 3 sections. You now break any finger in any creek, any arm, finger, you break that into 3, with the mouth being 3, the middle being 2, and the back of the creek being 1. Now let me reiterate. The body is 1, 2, and 3. 1 would be up north, 2 being main lake, 3 being down south. The arms are 3, 2, 1. 3 being the mouth, 2 being the middle, 1 being all the way back. In the private corner, I'm going to be able to tell you, folks, I'm fishing in 2, 1. That would mean I'm fishing in the middle of the main lake, all the way in the backs of the fingers and creeks. It's a simple, easy number system. That puts you exactly in the areas where I have been fishing and working without giving you a solid waypoint. Sometimes it's not about the waypoint itself. It's about the area. So remember, private corner's coming. Give me some thumbs up if you think you're going to like that. Definitely comment if you definitely go subscribe to that. I'd really like to know, because I still may or may not do it. $4.99 subscription, it's nothing. But that's my newest idea. And it's going to make me work even harder than I already have. That's why I really need to make it a subscription. I'm killing myself between guiding 5 and 6 days a week and still pulling these rundowns. You've noticed on Sundays I don't do the corner like I used to. I'm exhausted. Need some time to recover. If I'm going to dig and make this a little deeper, more information, I would hope that it's fair to ask you to subscribe. So that's what might be coming. Again, thank you so much for following. Thank you, all of you out there that run into me and thank me. I throw it back at you. Without you, there's no me. So appreciate you much. If you're going fishing and have any results on anything that I've taught or shared, man, send me those pictures. Send me those compliments or whatever. Tell me, hey, man, I found those fish on the shell bed. Thanks, Mike. Or hey, they're not on the shell beds. But don't be afraid to send me any information, comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you had. I'm rambling now, but I appreciate you so much. I'm Mike McFarland, giving you a Lake Fork rundown.